Okay, so today we're gonna look at the problem find anagram mappings. So you're given two lists, and the gist of the problem is that um, uh, the elements of A is in the array of B, and for each of the element in A, you just have to return where it maps to in terms of index in the B array. So for 12, it occurs at 1. So 0, 1. So it occurs at 1. 28, it occurs at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Now 46, where does it occur in B? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it occurs at 3. And then 32 is 0, 1, 2. And then lastly, 50, it occurs in at index of 0. So, so how do we solve this problem? So, um, first, we might want to process the array of B. So we're going to use a hash map, and then we're going to map the number to the index of where it occurs. So for B array, we're gonna iterate through the B array from 0 to length minus 1, and then for each one of them, we're going to map the number. So 50 maps to whichever what index it is in the array B, so 0. And then for 12, it maps to 1. For 32, it maps to 2. 46, it maps to 3. And then 28 maps to 4. So now, when we iterate through the A array, we're going to just look up on the hash map and then just return the index. So, and then we want to store that somewhere. So we're going to create a new array. So let's call it array C with the size of either A or B, because both of them has to have the same size. So in this case, they're going to have a size of 5, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5. So now for the first index, we look at uh, 12. Where does it map to? It maps to 1, so we set that to 1. And then we go to 28, and now it maps to, what does it map to? So we look up on hash map, and it maps to 4. And then 46 maps to 3. Put that in the array. And then 32, it maps to 2. And then 50 maps to 0. And then we just have to return that array. And then we can check the result. It's 1, 4, 3, 2, and 0. So then how do we write the code? So first we want to process the B array, right? And then we're going to have to initialize a hash map. Okay, so what do we do first? So we want to initialize the hash map. So we initialize the hash map. What does it map? What will be the key? The key will be integer, right? It will be the number in the B array, and then it will map to an integer corresponding to the index that occurs in the B array. So we can call this a hash map, right? Hash map. We can call it a hash map. Okay, now we need to process the B array, right? We need to go through each element of the B and then put that in a hash map. So we want to do a for loop. So for I int I equal to 0, I less than b dot length, I plus plus, and then so now for each of the element in the B, we want to put it in the hash map. So we do a hash map dot put elements at I, and then it maps to index I. So now once we do that, when we put everything, we will have a hash map of this thing right here. And then all we have to do is just iterate through the array, the A array. So we do I equal to 0, I less than a dot length, I plus plus, and then Okay, we probably need to initialize the answer array because we're returning the um, array of integer. So let's call this a C array. And then what's going to be the size is can be either A or B because both of them has to be the same, right? Because we're returning the corresponding mapping. So we can do A dot length. Okay. So now we're gonna iterate through A, and then for each element, we're gonna look up in the hash map. So for the first element 12, we're going to look up in the hash map and then get the index and then put that in the C array. So how do we do that? We do C of I is equal to A hash map dot get. What are we getting? Are we getting elements? We're getting the key. And what's going to be the key? The key is going to be the element in the A array. So we do A of I. Okay. So what is this going to do? Let's run through it. So we initialize the C array to be the size of A array. So it's 5. And then we run through each of the element in A. So for 12, right? For 12, we use the hash map and we get the value. The value is 1, so we put it in the first one. So now I thought at 0, right? And then in the next iteration of the while loop, for loop, it will be I equal to 1, which is right here. So then 28, we look up the corresponding index. So now it's 4, and then 46, 3, and then 32, it's 2, and then 50, it's 0. So now we have the answer array, and all we have to do is just return that array. Return C. So let's see if our code runs. Okay, and then let's try and submit the solution and see if it passes all the test cases. So it works. So what's the runtime for this? So if we think about it, we have to iterate through the B array, right? So let's assume that n is equal to the number of element in B or A, because both of them has the same length, right? So we have to process all the elements in B, so that's O of n, right? And then we also process the elements of A. So elements of A, the number of elements in A array is n. So it's going to be n plus n, and that's it. So then what is that equal to? That one is equal to O of 2n, which is just O of n. Okay, what about the space complexity? So the space is O of n. Why? Because in the hash map, we're going to have a size of n. So we use n space. So space is going to be O of n. That's it.